Welcome back, my friends. Today it's all about an AIO liquid cooler coming with a pretty nice mirror look. However, today's cooler is capable of much more than that, of course. In the limelight is the Antec Symphony 360 ARGB with, as the name already suggests, a 360mm radiator. My very first Antec cooler, by the way. Needless to say, ARGB lighting is on board too. Nowadays that's nearly a standard feature, I guess. A little fun fact, the Symphony 360 has been sitting here by me for months now, and I didn't get a chance to take a look at it because there were always other projects that needed to be taken care of. But today's the day. At the time of this video, the CPU cooler can be had for about $125 US, which is neither that much nor exactly little for a product of this tier. But what's the build quality, cooling performance and noise levels like? What immediately catches one's eye while unboxing is the fact that the AIO already comes pre-assembled out of the box. Basically, the fans are already pre-attached and connected with each other. Other than that, included comes all the mounting stuff. Now, since my specific model was delivered before Intel's Alder Lake launch, there comes no LJ1700 mounting kit included for me, but do not worry. Antec has extended the socket support, now officially supporting LJ1700 as well. A little bit of thermal paste is also included, just an ARGB controller is missing there. Now I am aware that most motherboards already come with ARGB headers, but for all of you that do not have the option, an at least very simple basic controller would have brought light into the dark, pun intended. Luckily, we are getting the fully standard 3-pin universal ARGB connector, both on the fans as well as the pump head. Furthermore, the pump itself is either hooked up by a 3-pin fan header or SATA power connector. As it's very common, this too happens to be a 360mm aluminum radiator, which coming in at a very standard common thickness of 27mm really doesn't stand out of the masses. Other than that though, the radiator makes a pretty solid impression quality-wise. Same thing can be said about the pump unit. The pump is being advertised of offering a flow rate of 1.3 liters per minute and a water pressure of 1.2 meters, height that is. Aesthetically, I really dig the design of the pump head, albeit I surely would have liked it even more if it had a fully mirrored cover. This is where lighting no longer plays a prominent role, in my opinion, but that's a matter of taste, of course. And both radiator as well as water block metal fittings come into play, although they most likely only serve a cosmetic purpose. This unit's tube length is at respectable 380mm, and the tubing itself also comes nicely sleeved. The material behind that sleeving, according to Antec, is so-called EPDM rubber. The already pre-attached fans don't make a bad impression at all, offering some good stuff on paper, additionally come with rubber pads to reduce vibration noise. We're being offered a fairly large copper base. In fact, it makes me wonder why Antec hasn't gone as far and offer support for even AMD's behemoth of a CPU socket as TRX4. Aside from that, pretty much every thinkable, more recent and common socket is being supported, even LJ1700. I therefore mounted the Symphony 360 onto my usual CPU cooler test system. Waiting to be cooled is the now slightly older, yet fairly hot-running AMD Ryzen 7 3800X. The installation went pretty straightforward. I did struggle a bit with those 4 long screws and the backplate though, resulting in me spending a few minutes with those screws equipped with springs. Once I placed the board more conveniently, I got the job done in just a few seconds. So that was definitely my bad, but I still wanted to let you know about it regardless. The whole mounting kit is out of metal, good quality. That's all well and good, but what is this Symphony 360 capable of at the end of the day, both in terms of cooling performance as well as noise levels? Let's put it this way, the results don't surprise me in the least. They are very much expected. In fact, one can speak of great results here. The Symphony 360 by Antec keeps up with the majority of other 360mm AIO units just as well does not really stand out in any way though. This is a problem we face with most coolers of this type. We consumers, therefore, are spoiled for choice. At the end of the day, it comes down to sympathy, price, and noise levels. Speaking of the latter, I can confirm to you that Antec did keep their promise with keeping the noise levels down. Both fans as well as pump do their job fairly quietly, although the pump stands out a lot more in that regard in a positive way. Even at its max RPM at 12 volts, it's close to inaudible. As far as the fans are concerned, as with so many AIO units out there, it depends on what fan curve and overall configuration you're going with for your system. Because if you let the fans spin at their max 1600 RPM, we are without the slightest doubt speaking of clearly audible fans. Once you lower the fan speed just slightly though, from 1 second to another, you're at a very comfortable noise level. The Antec Symphony 360 ARGB certainly allows for us to find and set the right balance. So from an aesthetic, performance, noise level as well as price point of view, this AIO liquid cooler ticks a lot of boxes. But that's not enough for me to be able to state that this one is any better than any of the other options listed in my charts. Nonetheless, it's actually really easy to recommend this Symphony 360 ARGB. With that said, thank you so much for watching everyone, take care and until the next video.